So Love Dorsey is going to touch on a issue that I feel is a big detriment within the black community, these epidemic of single motherhood. But let's review it.
Y'all hate me when I say it. I've been talking about it for years, but it needs to be said, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because all this single parent is f***ing up our culture. And at some point, y'all family members around y'all that sit up and watch y'all do this and claim somebody's a deadbeat when they're really not are a part of the problem. Children need men and women in their lives. They need a father and a mother.
Boy, I had to give a hand clap on that. Yes, children need a father and a mother. The child didn't get here without a father and a mother in that bedroom. So if you went in the bedroom and make that child, then obviously you need two people to rear that child. Listen, when things are operating out of order, it becomes hard. When you have a mom and a dad there, it's much easier to raise a child because that is the natural way that God made things. God didn't create you to be out here raising children by yourself. I understand people get widows or become widowers, but that's not always the case with today, right? It's always people just being reckless, having children, not being married. Because I'm old school. I believe you should be married before you have children. Why? Some people you may not want to marry. So that's good you didn't have no children with them, right? So if they got your last name, then hey, you go it on and it's okay to have kids. I will still preach that because the old way is the right way. This new age way, I've seen it. It don't work.
Women, mature women, parents that don't parent off of ego and emotion and feelings and the internet and what looks like, they already understand this, right? I'm just saying this for those of y'all that think we all dumb and we gonna go along with whatever y'all tell us. We know that bitches get mad after they get pregnant from a nigga and the relationship does not work out. These niggas be lying, these niggas be cheating, these niggas do not be doing right in these relationships when you try to be monogamous. We know that, right? That's a different subject. But when you choose as a female to birth a child, because the choice lies with you, whatever comes from that actually matches the character and the ways of the man before you actually brought the baby in the world, that is your choice. That is something you signed up for. And then when you get upset because you can't change things into what you want it to look like, when the child gets older and you realize this is difficult, it's tough, it can be unfair, it can make you feel some type of way, you don't know how to grow the fuck up, you then want to say that someone is doing something to you, but you did it to your motherfucking self. The sooner we start being real about this instead.
All right. Well, she said right there, basically the women take responsibility for their womb. You see, if the man didn't violate you, you chose to give your womb and your uterus to this man. You knew this man wasn't no good. You knew this man was of low value. You knew this ahead of time. And you didn't care. You should value your uterus and your womb like a person values diamonds or anything else. You understand what I'm saying? You should be protecting at all costs. You don't want the DNA of a sorry, no good man. You should want the DNA in your child of a man that is, hardworking, a man with a great character, moral man, a man that's going to go somewhere in life. You understand what I'm saying? Those character traits, because those character traits go into the DNA of your child. You know that sorry and good for nothing guy, the Pookie and Ray Ray guy, those character traits can go into your child too. So when that child gets about 14, 15, especially if he's a male, and then he wants to be out there thugging it and loving it, and you try to keep him away from that, is because it's already in him to do this because it came from his old pappy. And the DNA of his pappy, he probably don't even know. Or he's probably locked up upstate somewhere. So you can't say he was around him enough to teach him that, but it's already in him. Y'all better understand that. What's in that person is also going to go into that child through DNA. Now, it's bad what I'm about to say to a point, but it's just the truth. They don't take a champion breed of dog and mate them with a stray. They don't do that. They get another champion dog bloodline and they mate them so they can continue champion dogs. That's just bottom line. So when it comes to human beings, you don't go get the Pookie and Ray Ray if you are, because you got women out here who's very smart, who's very accomplished and everything, and they still go lay down with Pookie and Ray Ray. And a lot of times they do that because they can control them. See an accomplished man like to their level or higher, they can't do that. Because once again, men that know their worth, they would never put up with a whole lot of things. Well, let's continue.
Running around trying to be a victim all the time and click up and make it look like something is being done to us, the quicker these children will get on track with being a better generation and breaking generational curses, unlike what we did. So busy being mad at we will sit there and watch our children suffer while we get our ego and our emotions satisfied, while we tell a storyline on the internet to make ourselves feel better about whatever is bothering us when it comes down to parenting. The sooner we get back to the real business at hand, the real assignment, which is making sure your child doesn't become a fucking statistic, making sure your child is well prepared for the world, making sure your child has management of emotion skills, conflict resolution skills, a plethora of resources within the family to be able to be a productive member of society, the sooner we can grow, the sooner we start understanding that child support payments are not more valuable than an actual physical man being a resource to your child in whatever way that he can be to the child, not what you feel like he should be, the sooner we'll get to actually breaking generational curses. The sooner we realize that systemic racism and a lot that went on in our history is the reason why we think like this in our program like this, we can get down to the real business.
Boy, when she said that having a father around is a lot better than a child support check, oh boy. Now that in itself, yeah, that was a bar right there. I got to give her that one because ladies, and you could testify to this, some of you that may had a man in the household, but now he's not there, but he's paying child support though, right? It was a lot different and better when that man was in the house. And some people that had a breakup in their relationship wish they can get back to that and say, shoot, I'd rather him come back, but it was much easier. It's harder taking care of a kid by myself. This is not what I signed up for. So every child needs a father in the household. I'm a firm believer of that. It should be incentives. Like it's the state of Texas, from what I was hearing there, either passed it or about to pass a property tax law where it incentivizes marriage. So basically, if you're married, you get a percentage off of your property taxes. If you have children, but you got to stay married, not no single mothers, you get a percentage off again. And for how many children you have, you get a percentage off of your property taxes. So that law would basically incentivize marriage, incentivize families staying together. I'm good with the state doing something like that. I think it's good. We need to get back to having families again. All this single parent household stuff, that don't work. That don't work at all. You cannot build no society that's a functional society that's ever had anything can function off of single parent households. Even America had marriages forever in this country. This breakdown of marriage is more so a recent phenomenon, especially when the no-fault divorce came in. It's when the explosion of divorces. But I'm telling you what's happening and what's going to happen even more over the years. They're going to be rolling back all this no-fault divorce. They're going to be rolling back all these incentives to get divorced. They're going to roll all that stuff back because they've made a mistake. And they understand that you cannot have a country without the traditional family structure. They get that. So they're going to have to fix it or they'll lose this country, bottom line. But let me know what y'all think about, what Love Dorsey is saying. And I just got to touch on this. I have to. And it's nothing against the sister at all. But what is going on with these deep voice females? I can't get over the deep voices today. And this is why the trans women are fooling people. Because some of these trans women don't have can mimic the woman's voice well. Some of them can, but a lot of them don't. And they try and they still got a deep voice, right? Because back in the day, you could tell, oh, that's a trans woman. Okay. But then now you got women, these biological women with these deep voices, ladies, I don't know, get some voice training, get back to the women's, soft voice, not these deep male voices.